Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everyone?
I really want to see the Minions sing the Yodel song. They have to. They have to have that. That has to be a thing. One day, DeGeneres surprised Ramses by saying he'd be booked for the following weekend.
She's like a superhero.
She's not a superhero. She's like a super villain that has a bunch. She's like Syndrome.
Yeah,
Dude, I want
to draw Ellen as Syndrome. Look, this is Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island, otherwise known as SpongeBob and Friends Battle for Volcano Island, where I lived.
This like whirlpool looking effect is the same thing as fucking Wrath of Cortex.
I was gonna say it reminds me of Crash Wrath of Cortex. No, it was like a shitty mid-eye version of it.
How would you make a mid-eye version?
That's right. But even that wasn't even. It was like Crash 3's theme. It was so shit. You remember the Crash 3 theme?
Wait, do it. Try again. Oh, yeah.
Look, it's Jimmy Neutron Timmy. Even though Jimmy's not even fucking in this game most of the time.
The model for Timmy looks so shit.
I kind of like it, honestly.
I don't like how wall-eyed he looks.
I like his giant overbite.
You know what it is? I don't like how wall-eyed he looks because it is kind of like the same look as the reversible inside-out Timmy plush.
This is like a polygonal version of it, you know?
No, don't blame it on the polygons because you can make something polygonal and still look accurate to the character design.
Yeah, like SpongeBob.
Look at...
This doesn't look like
Look how small Danny's eyes are too.
Yeah, but look, they're all interacting. They all know each other. They're all friends.
I
was telling Veronica the other day where she always thinks it's so lame that I like these games, but I was describing it to her because we were playing through Kingdom Hearts recently, and I was like, Veronica, this is like my Kingdom Hearts.
Okay. So one of the first times I ever visited Mark in Ireland, he was like, we should play Nicktoons or no, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob and Friends Unite. Yeah, look, here it is.
Here's the video.
SpongeBob and Friends Unite.
Let's play it. No, we played the prequel of this game, which is dog shit.
It's horrible.
Mark's like, yeah, this one's a lot better. Put this one on.
This one's way better.
When Mark was like, Veronica, this is my Kingdom Hearts, immediately I was like, okay, I need to stop making fun of him for this.
You get it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, no, I understand that.
Yeah, this is basically the same as Kingdom Hearts.
It's not the same.
Look, it's like Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my god, it kind of is like Kingdom Hearts now that you've played it, now that I've like played this.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember anything about this game other than I know that I hated this one more than the first one.
This one's way more simple, but I do like it's just decent, you know, it's a decent like kids game.
The music is so quiet. Why does Danny get the one where he's laughing and SpongeBob just gets stock art?
That's both stock art.
That is not stock art Danny, Mark.
I was thinking recently, like, it really takes me out of the show how much he sounds like a 40-year-old man. But I kind of like it, though.
So fine, dude. I had such a crush on Danny Phantom. I think the reason why I like Danny Phantom so much is because I wanted to be Sam so bad.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted Danny to have a crush on me.
What?
What if you saw Yodel Kid in this game?
Yeah, PNG of him. Look, there he is in the background.
I really want. That's our new Baba Booey. That's our new song.
The Yodel Kid, a meme from 2018.
What are you talking about? So is Baba Booey.
Baba Booey was our original meme that we brought back from American Dad.
Baba Booey is our meme.
Yeah, we basically coined the term.
We invented Baba Booey. No, we didn't, because the only reason why we say Baba Booey is from a shitty edit from American Dad.
Baba Booey.
Yeah, well, Baba.
I remember Butch Hartman played this game on his YouTube channel, and all he did the whole time was just go like, yep, I made Danny Phantom. I wanted there to be Danny Phantom video games. So this game's good. That's all he said.
There is no Danny Phantom video game.
See, I recently discovered there's one on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay, but that's like...
yeah, everything.
That's not what we
like
want.
LT Gray got a game. You know LT Gray got a PS2 game?
I do know that.
Really?
Yeah.
You play it?
No, I never played. I wanted it.
Really?
I loved LT Gray.
You know, I like seeing all these characters interact. I like that they know each other. I was telling you recently, it's well, see, I didn't know what any of this was as a kid, but now I know that's the truck from Danny Phantom.
the Fenty-mobile.
I was telling you the other day, it's weird how in the 2000s they really wanted to portray SpongeBob as like a cool action hero, you know?
That's true.
But nowadays, like SpongeBob's completely been like normalized into being like, oh, he's cute. He's like a little quirky like
He's
kid.
a funny, goofy little Mickey Mouse.
But I liked that in these games he was like ready for action. He always wanted to kick people's shit in, you know?
See, I always like remembered growing up and
What?
seeing this like Battle for Bikini Bottom in the SpongeBob movie like art cover, like the game covers, because we were talking about that yesterday. You brought up how it's like, yeah, see, look, they try to make him an action star, and like I always knew that. Like looking at it, I was like, this looks really fucking lame. Like they're trying to make him cool.
But you never like processed
But
it.
I never processed that was like their gimmick, and that was kind of like the path that SpongeBob took in like the late 2000s and early 2010s.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, see, this is one of the bosses from the first Nicktoons Unite.
Okay.
But coming back to it, it blew my mind that they come back and they're like, oh, look, it's this thing from the game.
Continuity.
And I was like, what the fuck?
It blew your mind that there is continuity.
Then they can like interact with each other and like recount stuff. But this thing, isn't it weird how this kind of like game, this kind of like crossover stuff just doesn't exist anymore? Like, what could you do with current Nickelodeon?
What are you fucking talking about? Nicktoons All-Star Brawl.
But that was like the first in so long. But this is like an action adventure
didn't
game.
Didn't they have like online internet-based games?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like this, you know, like a platformer, like a fun, like cool thing where they're all knowing each other, taking on a evil.
I get. When have they done this for any other like series?
I don't know. Like, I feel like this was kind of unique, you know, for what it was. Even though they're not good games, like let's be real.
It is definitely. I wouldn't say it's unique. I would say that this was already a trope by the time this game came out.
What, crossover like cartoons?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you had like Cartoon Network, the Smash Brothers clone they did, and stuff like that.
There was also like, I don't know. I think about like the online games, like on Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah, I definitely like Flash stuff. I guess I meant kind of like relatively like
console based.
Yeah,
I
like
know what you mean.
mid-tier budgeted stuff that's like.
Honestly, I'm so put on the spot trying to think about it. I could not recall a single one.
That's what I'm saying.
Example.
Nowadays, like, what could you even like? Nickelodeon just is so far removed from what it was that what could you even do now? SpongeBob and Lincoln Lodge and like who else? The Casa Grandes. Like that's
and
it.
Baby Shark.
Yeah, and Baby Shark. SpongeBob, Lincoln Lodge, and Baby Shark.
Dude, okay, we've talked about this before because we live in Burbank, so we live pretty close to the Nickelodeon building, and every time we've driven past it, because it's on like a main road. Anytime we've driven past it, we're always kind of like making fun of the fact that they have the Casa Grandes and Loud House on the outside.
Which they recently tore down.
Yeah, they recently took down those fucking banners for it, right? But the funniest thing about it was every time we drove past, Mark's like, I don't know why they fucking have the Loud House.
Oh, the Casa Grandes.
No, the Casa Grandes. He's like, that hasn't aired in like a fucking long ass time.
Oh my God,
do you remember, Mark? Do you remember when I did this part and I kept fucking getting hit and you were running ahead?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe two-player wouldn't have been a good idea.
Yeah, no, we were gonna play this originally. Mark, why'd you wait till it goes slower?
Oh my
Mark?
God, you're supposed to go when it's slower. Why would I go when it's faster?
Go, you tell me, Mark.
Look, it's going. Why could I possibly
Look at his face. Look at Danny's face, Mark.
A lot of these early PS2 games get me thinking about how much I had my dad like help me with this kind of stuff and how much he had to watch it, and I'm like, but then I remember this one time when I got Toy Story 3, the video game for the Wii, and he was looking at it with my uncle and being like, wow, it's really like insane how great games look now. 'Cause that game did have like amazing.
Toy Story 3. I remember when the movie Toy Story 3.
The game looks great.
I was gonna say the movie itself. I was like, this is fucking incredible.
So I always wonder, like, because obviously, like, he's not a gamer, or you know, so he doesn't.
Wait, your dad's not the gaming whiz?
No, so he's not gonna play a game like, oh, this fucking shit. But I'm like, would he? When he was playing this with me, was he just like, oh my God, this is fucking mindless? Or was he like, oh, whatever, you know? It's fine.
Maybe he was just like, oh, this is kind of cool to see like this like TV show my son would watch all the time translated into a game.
I don't know. See, have I ever told you? I probably have. I think I mentioned it in my Danny video that's coming out, where whenever I got this game first, and you can't play as Jimmy Neutron in this one. He's like a background character. And so when I went to the store and my dad got me Nicktoons Unite, probably because it was like really cheap or whatever. It was probably like 5 years old.
Nobody wanted it.
We were sitting in like the clothes store. He like looked at the box art and he was like, look, Mark, you can play as Jimmy Neutron in this one. And I was like, oh, I know, I can see that. And as I remember, even I was like 6 years old, and even as I said it, I was like, oh, I was mean, but I can't say I was mean, you know.
You're like Simon from In Between.
I got really angst over Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, this game's whole gimmick is that all the worlds are like fused together, or all the worlds are like falling onto like a desert island.
That's really stupid.
This ship looks like it was.
Yeah, it's really stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
What else can they do?
Something cooler. Why couldn't it have been that they had a bigger threat that's like destroying their worlds like Kingdom Hearts, you know?
There is a bigger threat.
What?
The
Big giant chicken?
Magu. No.
The Mongu?
No, the Magu.
The Magu?
He's a big purple Kingdom Hearts Heartless. He kind of looks like that.
Show me. This looks like...
He's a Heartless.
He looks like Gantu mixed with Thor. Not Thor, Thanos.
Guys, guess what? We have more P.O. Box stuff. We went recently and we find a bunch of shit.
Yeah, guys, so here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wag no! Albino Sunny.
Yeah, but look, a SpongeBob total quote.
That's like Sunny. That's like Sunny if he dipped his balls in bleach.
That's right. Yeah, we got our first 4 in.
This is our first international letter. A first letter from overseas.
Congratulations.
This is from Nathan. I won't say your last name due to the out of respect for you, so I don't dox you. So Nathan, this is from Nathan. Whoa, Mark, look at this.
Whoa, cool little postcard with my avatar on it.
That is so
That's pretty
cool.
fun.
And then there's a note. Hi, Mark. I'm writing to you using the podcast P.O. box, as I don't think you have your own. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've been a big fan of your channel for years. As someone who loves animation, I love watching your videos and hearing your opinions on the show / movies that you're covering. Could you sign this photo for me, please? Could you make it out to Nathan, please? Thankies, Nathan.
Sure. Thanks for the letter.
Here, pass me the
Yeah, I gotta
postcard.
save it.
You're gonna save it,
See
you sign it, we'll mail it out.
I always liked Patrick's running animation in this game. I liked how bouncy he was. You know what I hate though? His face. Look at his mouth.
This is the problem, is his mouth would look fine if his eyes weren't half open and he was looking angry.
You know, I think they reused his model from Nicktoons Unite where he's like in the game for 5 minutes, you know? So
Also, I really hate his fucking icon. That's just him from the Valentine's Day episode.
that is, yeah, like a redraw of it.
Yeah. From Dark Knight. Or
Whoa.
Dark Knight? No, Dark Right.
Dark Right.
I like
Hi,
this
Mark.
little...
This is a call to action for you to play the hit new game, Bird and Bees Adult Activity Center, before angry hypocrites take it down forever. I've never heard of that before. Adult Hypocrite Center?
Bird and Bees Adult Activity Center.
Activity Center.
All right. Bird and Bees Activity Center by Dark Right, now available, guys.
Why is it getting taken down?
Thanks, guys.
He looks
Hey,
so bad.
What's going on?
He looks like he got his
Long
wisdom teeth taken
story,
out.
pal.
Whoa!
What
Whoa,
the
but
fuck?
look at this one.
Dickheads.
Whoa, look at they gave us
Always.
stickers. One of them looks like a Polaroid.
Freddy
Freddy
Fazbear and Eric
and
Cartman.
Garrett Cartman. And the other one's a wench.
Wayne's wearing a little hat, saying ticket.
This is so cool. I have to show my friend Lee this Eric Cartman one. Dear Mark, Veronica, and Wench. Hi, I'm Silly Social from the comments you guys read out on the Megan FNAF movie episode. You know the guy who had the brother who really, really, really likes Megan? Anyways.
I do remember that.
I've decided to send you guys some art I made of Freddie Cartman and Wench. Me and my girlfriend are huge fans of the show, and we both are really excited to see what you guys think of the gift. We really hope you enjoy the letter, and we hope you guys continue to make more episodes of our favorite podcast. Last thing, please make another episode featuring Sunny. It's the best episode of the entire podcast, and we need a squeakquel. With
Say-
love and Baba Booey.
Every time Sunny comes in town, we're like, we gotta record a podcast. He's in town for like a month, and then we never get around to it.
It's
We're
because
always
every time
busy.
we try to go record a podcast, somebody hits us up being like, hey, do you guys want to hang? And we're like, oh, well, we'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, and then he leaves.
Then he leaves, yeah. Also, it says, P.S. I wish I were joking, but the same brother who made me watch Megan made me watch Madame Web. I might kill myself.
Did he like it though?
That is true. Silly Social, did he like it, and did you like it?
Yeah, that is the question.
That's the most important question of all.
Thanks for the art.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is so. This is going on a corkboard.
Yeah, it's got to go on the guys. Our corkboard's getting filled up so quickly. Yeah, as a kid, I always thought this game was so much bigger, but it really is just the same 3 franchises, just with more characters. Look, Sam has this random ability that's only in like this level of the game.
What the fuck? Why are her eyes and her lipstick blue? Why are they
Yeah.
not purple?
She just gets this like invincibility move, like a little
Pretty
winch.
cool. Okay, it is pretty cool that you get to play as Sam in this game. And it also is really cool that Sam and Tucker are like involved with Danny. It's not just Danny isolated.
I feel like I was so starved of like good games as a kid that I would just pick apart like the most minor details and be like, I like that. I would like.
I guess that's true considering you played Wrath of Cortex.
Yeah. See, I always, as a kid, I always liked playing as SpongeBob because whenever you do his grind pine move, he would reverse, like, and do that, you know?
That is pretty cool.
So I do it like this as a kid, and I'd be like, no, I want to see his face. So I'd always purposely grind pine, like, while facing backwards.
Also, wait, do it again, do it again.
No, no.
Wait,
he's
no, more.
Look, see, it's Vlad's castle in the background.
Oh, that's cool.
Nicktoons Unite is kind of like every world is separate, and this one's like in a completely different setting. But Attack of the Toy Bots was like, oh, they're using Krabby Patties, ghost powers, and fairy magic, and Professor Calamitous is combining them to like, and making evil like robot versions of all the Nicktoons to like do whatever, you know.
That is pretty cool.
It's like trying to
But
interconnect it.
that comes off like a more homogenous like idea than this.
I agree.
Yeah.
Attack of the Toy Bots in some
But
ways
is
I
it-
think is better than this one.
I was gonna say, wasn't Attack of the Toy Bots considered worse?
I love Attack of the Toy. Attack of the Toy Bots is hard. It's like
hard.
it's like hard and like for a kid. It's like this one where dying has no consequence, but whenever you or the platforming challenges that they have you on is like do this or you die immediately. You know?
Whoa. Ugh, I hate that he has black eyeliner.
Yeah, but I do think it's animated pretty fun.
Yeah, it is animated. That was gonna be my next. Also, his teeth are too close together.
Yeah, but whatever. Like I get it. This mustn't have been easy.
Squidward's head is too fat.
Yeah. Look at Squidward. Look at Squidward's eyes.
That's really cute.
See?
A little tiki Squidward house. Okay. What are we looking up again? We're
Jimmy
looking
Neutron Globs of Doom.
Neutron Globs of Doom. Which I think is a really shitty way. Is that in reference to Invader Zim?
No, no. That's the villain of the game. Is like a big orange glob.
What?
I told
the
you.
Fuck?
He's hideous.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this?
He looks like James Charles.
Oh my god! This is like Coco Melon, Jimmy Neutron.
Look at SpongeBob.
Why is it? Oh my!
They also have that game has Zim and Dib in it, and Dib.
No wonder. That's I asked you if they had Zim in it.
But the name isn't in reference to Zim.
The name is definitely in reference.
No,
to
the
Zim.
villain is a big glob of orange.
Glob of Doom, dude. Glob of Doom.
Oh, that's right. That is the meme. The
Yeah.
funny Invader Zim meme. Look,
yeah.
see, look. Speaking of, it's
look.
Zim's spaceship, even though he's not in this game.
He's in the first one, isn't
Look,
he?
it's little Timmy too.
And at a certain point, I was so sick and tired of play. Oh my god!
I like this Timmy model. I think it's maybe I'm nostalgic for it.
Oh my god! No, Cosmo looks like. Music.
I like Timmy's eyebrows.
Look at her dancing with her saggy tits.
See, I love seeing SpongeBob talk about Timmy Turner, you know, in passing, you know. They bring Tack in the third game, who sucks, but they have all the characters. Like, Tack's like, who are these guys? And SpongeBob and Patrick are like, oh, that's Jimmy Neutron. Like, and like and then Patrick will say he has a giant fucking head or something like that. It's like, oh, they know each other, you know, it's
That's why
charming.
Kingdom Hearts is so fucking cool.
That's what I'm saying. It's just, it's
no,
charming.
You are so right. This is like Kingdom Hearts.
But see, I didn't grow up with Disney stuff, so it's not that like impactful for me. But this is seeing Danny Phantom and SpongeBob SquarePants team up for an adventure.
Jane, did you primarily watch Disney movies or did you primarily watch Nickelodeon movies? You might, sorry, you might have to speak into the mic.
Primarily I watch Disney movies.
Okay, so when you saw, no, you've never played Kingdom Hearts either. Like, if you saw this as a kid, would this, and they all know each other and they're friends, would you think this shit is pretty cool?
No.
I wouldn't either. Whoa,
I wish those crabs would freeze.
that looks so fucking bad.
But look, they're referencing Jimmy Neutron and stuff.
I found this in the crab's food.
Oh, look at him.
It's a Jimmy Neutron communicator.
He looks worse in this than he does in the first one. Look at him.
I think he
Mark,
looks
how the
charming.
fuck did you think that looks good?
I don't think it looks good. I think it looks charming.
Oh,
That looks horrible. That looks terrifying.
oh my god! Mark.
Get out of here.
Mark.
It's charming. You know what really pisses me off about this game, though? You can only play as Timmy in one level.
Yeah, why?
It's only SpongeBob and Danny in every single level. Just because it's so short, and the pacing always wants SpongeBob and
What's-
Danny together.
What's the like full runtime of this game?
Like an hour and a half. Like this is the
Really?
halfway point. I'm pretty
This
sure.
this is not the half.
Look, it's Danny's
Mark,
school.
what the fuck have you done so far?
I've saved Squidward. I saved Tucker, Sam, Patrick, Timmy Turner.
I guess you
Cosmo,
did. I
Wanda.
watched you save Tucker and Sam and Woodward.
Yeah, he dies. Look.
That's how he died?
Yeah, no, he comes back.
What did that do?
That's health.
Oh.
The blue things. Look, and he breaks one of your
I
things.
asked you what the blue things were.
I said, no, don't say that again. We're not having this conversation a second time.
You. I thought there were 3 coconut cannons.
Yeah, you broke one. I just said that. I just said that. See, he's already done.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That would take me hours as a kid.
Does that make you feel kind of like a retard in hindsight?
Yeah, potentially. Or partially.
Potentially. Okay, I will say the one good character trait of these little crab things is they have like little Muppet mouths, and I really, really love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that about them.
But see, they all know each other. They're all
How-
helping each other. What is that?
That's the unknown.
That was the boogeyman.
Dude, I want the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour crossover video game.
As a kid, I was always like, the Nicktoons Brawl could have done that. I always wanted as a kid, because they had the Jimmy Timmy Power Hours. I was like, when's the Danny Phantom SpongeBob Power Hour? Like,
You really, really wanted Danny Phantom and SpongeBob to be friends, even though that would just not fucking work.
they're friends in this game.
That would not fucking. It still doesn't really fucking work in this game.
It does. They're charming together.
Not really.
They talk to each other.
No,
and
they
have fun.
say a couple things like SpongeBob, don't stub your toe, or he'll go, Danny, don't go too far. Some stupid shit like that.
Now that you're not even, we have the game muted.
We do not have the game muted.
It's very low.
Put a floating double chocolate cookie.
Floating one. And Timmy gets no one.
Timmy saves no one.
And he's in one level. It's bullshit.
And Jimmy Neutron gets talked to once.
A couple times. But yeah, it's like,
Twice.
it's bullshit.
Yeah, that is really bullshit.
Yeah, it made me so mad as a
Yeah,
kid.
That is really retarded.
But I also, it made me really mad because Timmy was really cool to play as.
I was gonna say Timmy had like
He had a
Timmy had
hammer.
a pretty cool like.
Whoa.
It was pretty cool.
But also, I love his jump sound effect. I like that,
you have
Timmy.
to Mark go back, pick up that rock, put it over to the right side.
No.
Jump on top
This
of
game
it.
is not that advanced,
Yes, it is.
Veronica.
Yes, it is.
Look at SpongeBob's
Do
like,
it.
he's bending his
He's
brick.
bending. Do it. Just do it. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe I should be Danny.
Oh.
Oh, look.
I felt so sure
You have to
about.
go
Oh,
this way.
come on.
It was that way the whole time.
Fuck off.
I feel like a lot of people I knew had like these Nicktoons crossover games. Like my sister's friend, she had Nicktoons Unite, and as a kid it was like, wait, other people can have the same games as me? And I was like, did you get past the first level? And she was like, of course. And I was like, can you please help me beat the first level? I didn't know you had to use like the characters' power-ups. And she came to our house. It was the only time she ever came to our house. She was one of those friends who lived near my grandmother. So it's like we don't see her then.
Far, yeah.
But I remember being like, she came up and she's playing with my older sister, and I was like, can you please help me beat this? And I played through like the hour-long level to get to the very end where I always got stuck, and I just paused it and I ran outside and I was like, please, 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 can you help me? And she was like, fuck off, you know, like I'm playing with her, you know.
Aww.
And then I'm like, I just want to look, whoa, Trixie Tang photo, PNG.
Whoa. And that's just a drawing of Trixie Tang from the photo.
Yeah.
I mean, from the game. I mean, the show.
And then I was just like, she eventually was like, okay, I'll help you with it. And then her mom came and took her home.
No.
And I was like, I'll never beat Nicktoons Unite level 1. And all I had to do was use Timmy and use one of his power-ups that I never read that I had, you know.
I do like their little star particles that follow them. That is really cute. I do like how they float around.
Here,
I was gonna say that the fact that we're already almost done with this game does go to show how like quick this really like the runtime of this thing really is. So you know, so it does give you more room to appreciate like the designs and the graphics and like the continuity.
It doesn't have time to get annoying. Yeah. Well, unlike Nicktoons Unite, which gets infuriating immediately, you know. See, as a kid, it worked on me completely. I was like, why the fuck would I play anything that isn't like based off a TV show or movie, you know? Like, what am I, dumb? That's why Crash Wrath of Cortex stuck out to me so much, because it was the first game that I properly really liked that wasn't based on like, I grew up with like...
Fuck off. What about Sonic?
I don't, it's weird. That's like my introduction to Sonic is a complete gap in my mind. My earliest memory...
What are you talking about? Sandy arguably looks the best out of all of these characters.
No, she looks like Zippy. My earliest memory of Sonic is sitting on an airplane coming home from Spain and turning around to my uncle and going like, hey, when we get home, can I borrow your copy of Sonic Heroes for the PS2? And he was like, you can just have it.
Really?
That's my earliest Sonic memory. So clearly I knew him before then, but I didn't like know.
My earliest Sonic memory was both of those cousins were significantly older than us. Like, I was like 7 and they were like 20. They came over one day, and it was like the first time we ever had like my cousins kind of come and spend the night over, because they were so much older, you know what I mean? Like, we were a bunch of stupid snot-nosed kids. I doubt they wanted to come and hang out with like 5-year-olds, you know? So when they did come by, they brought their Game Gear, and they had Sonic, and I never knew what a Game Gear was. I only ever had the Super Nintendo. So when they had the Game Gear and they showed me, I was like, whoa, this is like old
technology.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, this is like old. And I was like holding it in my hands, and I was playing Sonic. And I'm like, oh, I really like this game. Because I think I'd seen Sonic before, but didn't really ever play it or understand
Didn't
it.
like process what you were looking at.
Yeah, so that was like the first time I'd actually like properly introduced myself to Sonic. And eventually, like, my babysitter, she started collecting video games for my younger brother David, because she took care of David when he was like a fucking baby. So she would like try to like surprise him by going to the swap meet and buying any old games she could possible to like give to him.
Interesting. I wish I had someone like that in my life.
She was that for David. That's why David got very into video games, because Nina, our babysitter, would come and buy shit at the swap meet for like $5, $10, and then give it to him, you know?
Interesting. You don't like that animation? Whoa, he's floating around.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Look, it's the Goofy Goober level.
Okay, let's see. This is like, is this like a jumping game, like the Fortnite running, like baby?
Basically,
baby,
yes.
Baby run.
Baby Run. Forgot about Baby Run.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We used to play that all the time.
Like, look, whoa. Hey,
That
all
is
you
cool.
goobers. Yeah, my family were not like into games. So there would be stuff like, I went to my granny's house and I looked in the attic once as a kid and I saw a in-box, perfect condition Mega Drive.
What?
Like a Genesis.
Why did she have that?
Because my granddad had it, and I don't know what though, and he had a copy of Mickey Castle of Illusion, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
That
Like,
game sucks.
yeah.
But no,
I was like,
sorry.
what? I was like,
sorry.
I was like, what is this? And so I tried plugging it in, but I realized the box looked way different whenever I looked it up now, and it's because he had like a Japanese one.
What?
But I didn't know that at the time. And perfectly in
look.
box, it was like Taiwanese or something like that. Yeah, you could look it up and I'll be able to recognize it. It was like all white with like, it was the Japanese Genesis color scheme. So we tried plugging it in, and obviously me or like my fucking 50-year-old granddad did not know that like, oh, plugging a Japanese system into an LCRT in Ireland is not going to work, you know? So he was like, oh, I keep forgetting. He's like, oh, I guess it's broken. So I was like, oh, okay. And my uncle was like, oh, I had a Genesis as a kid. I'll look for it, you know? But it got stolen when he had repairs done on his house.
No.
Yeah, he had a bunch of like really rare. He had the Master System Genesis converter, and it got stolen.
That's so fun.
When he was getting his like roof done. Whenever I grew up, obviously, and I got really into old video games, I was like, where the fuck is that old Genesis like with in the box? Where the fuck is it? And so my granddad was dead by this point, and so I was like looking for it in the attic. I would go up every week looking for it, and just
what
hoping.
happened to it?
I guess whenever he was like, oh, I guess it doesn't work, he threw it away.
No. Oh no! That would kill me.
And it makes me really, and it did. It was like, oh my god, why was I such a dumb kid? Why as a 5-year-old did I not know? Yeah. That's what. So that's a long-winded way of saying that I never really had any kind of like person who was into video games as a kid. I think my dad had one of those like, 100 NES games in one, but we don't call them NES games because we don't want to get copyright. And you know when you go to like a shopping center and you see like some.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, like the fucking Miss Pac-Man plug-in AV cables with 150 games.
That's where I played. Yeah, that's where I played Mario Bros for the first time, and Duck Hunt. I remember I really tried convincing my mom to watch Spider-Verse, and she was like, whenever the first Spider-Verse came out, she was
really funny, Mark, is I was in Ireland when the first Spider-Verse came out.
That's interesting. Yeah, she was like, no, that's like an animated movie. That's for kids. I'm gonna watch Aquaman instead. And then she came home from Aquaman and was like, that was a really good movie.
Mark, she watched Aquaman because Jason Momoa is fine. Okay.
Yeah, I guess she didn't want to see Miles
Why
Morales.
would she want to see Miles Morales?
Fair. At the time, I was. That's whenever I was in my prime. Like, animation is cinema, you know. and now it's like, no, animation is SpongeBob, dude. That's it. Just, do you want to restart? No, I don't want to restart. You know what's perfect example of that? In our closet for the longest time in our old house as a kid, we had a PS1, and I never knew it was there because no one ever looked in that closet. It was like really far back.
You guys just had a PS1?
Yeah, and I never knew about it. I would have
bought it?
That's
Dad?
I asked like, oh, where'd this come from? And my dad was like, when this came out, your mom got me it when we were going out.
That is so sweet.
But then but whenever I was a kid and I heard that, I was like, that doesn't sound like my mom. You know, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
no,
Where it's like,
yeah. Literally, as I said, that's so sweet. I go, that's really surprising.
yeah, but yeah, where it's more like I could never picture my mom doing that. Where it's like that seems like a different person almost in a way.
I guess.
And it's like,
Well, obviously your mother was a different person before she became
obviously
a mother.
the PS1 was like when she was like a teenager,
Yeah.
or like 20.
She
You know
was no.
what?
She was not 20 when the fucking PS1 came out, Mark.
When the PS1 came out,
1998.
Six.
No.
Yes.
No.
Crash Bandicoot came out in 1996. Yeah, like what's going on here? Like why am I not fighting these guys in the background, you know?
You're surprised that your mom would buy that for your father.
Yes.
But that is something that she admitted that she had bought for your father. Also, why is Patrick's pants red?
It's just the lighting. Like look,
That's not what green. That's not what purple lighting does to green pants, though.
it's almost like this is a shitty PS2 game. Whoa, SpongeBob does a little dance.
He looks
What?
naked. Why do you look naked there?
Sorry.
No, but that is pretty cool. I'm trying to think of like what my parents or what my mother would get my father as a gift when I was younger, and a lot of it would be like, the one thing that sticks out to me the most is my mom got my dad this button-down Tommy Bahama looking shirt that had like a marlin on it. Like it had like a big giant like swordfish or something.
But even then, my only reason for saying this game isn't bad is just because it's not like annoying, you know? Like there's a bunch of games, like kid licensed games out there where you play it and you're like, oh, this is infuriating. But this is just like, oh, I can turn my mind off and I can play this. So I guess that doesn't make the game good. But I also don't think this game is bad because it doesn't like try to do anything that is clearly not capable of. It's just like being average.
Why isn't this guy the bad guy? Like that guy would have been a better bad guy. And
This
why is
guy-
she so fuckable?
And also, have you noticed how these guys have never been in any level before now?
No, now they're established.
Literally, you get a cutscene where the crab guy is like, the princess has been kidnapped by the plant king who's corrupted by the Mogu energy.
Which doesn't make, all of that doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm saying. Why the fuck is Danny Phantom saving this bitch from ants?
But look, he's talking to Patrick.
He's saving the Princess Bala. Like, why? What does the blue do again?
Yeah, shut up.
I don't remember what
It gives you health. It gives you health.
Yeah,
Dude,
this is better than ants.
it's
sure.
an espresso machine.
It's an espresso machine.
Why is this in the game?
That's the parts
Why is
that
this in the
need.
game?
They needed 3 items that fell from the sky, and one of them was an espresso
Oh my
machine.
God! When have we ever seen any of these fucking characters drink coffee?
Danny Phantom would have
When?
coffee in
When?
his universe.
When? You're watching it. When?
That means he
When did he have coffee?
he doesn't have coffee in the show, but he would know what an espresso machine is.
But why is that an item?
Because that's what they need for the Jimmy Neutron. That's what they need for the Rip Zipper, dude.
Mark, shut. Ah! Look at her. She looks pissed. She's like hitting fucking flies or fucking feathers around her.
Yeah, but
Like,
look at
what
this.
the fuck did she do?
Look at that. Like, where'd this thing come from?
What is any of this? What is any of this, Mark?
This game is one of those games where playing it, you're like, oh, this was cut in like quarters, you know?
What the fuck are any of these goddamn fucking characters?
What's interesting is this game. I've never gotten the items to unlock the Squidward like concept art, like place, but you there's one piece of concept art that is like it's really charming. Honestly, it's a painting, like a gouache painting of Danny, SpongeBob, Timmy, and Jimmy all like sitting. Like tinily on like a desert island, like making like s'mores, like marshmallows on a fire.
That is really cute.
Episodes of Fairly Odd Parents.
I remember being so fucking hyped for Crash Nebula.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, I was like, "This is insane."
Did you see it when it was released?
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Because we wouldn't get stuff at the same time as you.
Big,
fucking
Really? They hyped it up?
dude. It was a big fucking deal when it was released.
As a kid, whenever I watched it, I was always kind of like, this isn't Crash Nebula. Crash Nebula was like a big buff action hero in the like in this, literally in like the 3rd episode of the show is when they're like, this is a bad episode. Is when it's Timmy, Chester, and AJ, and
All
that's
wearing the Crash Nebula outfits.
yeah, it's the first Mark Chang episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, why this Crash Nebula isn't like a fucking dumb kid like Chester ripoff, you know? Isn't he voiced by like Jason Marsden?
He
too?
is voiced by Jason Marsden.
Please.
Oh, whoa!
Please, Baba Bluey.
This sucks. What the fuck is this character design? Can you recognize this from any fucking child
He does a
TV show?
microwave,
Oh
dude.
my, a microwave in the fucking art style of Danny Phantom. What the fuck? You didn't do anything different. Why did it just stop? Yes. Go to file. Oh. Uh-oh. No, yeah, go to file. Emulation? Uh-oh. We might have lost our progress mark.
I cut out the Hiroshima thing in Crash.
Why?
I was like, I don't know.
Why?
Sometimes I'm like, I can't.
Mark made a Hiroshima joke in the Crash Bandicoot episode,
and
he
I
cut
didn't.
it out.
I didn't know if that was offensive or not.
How is that offensive?
But you can also.
Wait, how is that offensive considering that was 70 years ago and people make fun of 9/11 now?
I don't know. That's the issue. I don't know. Chris Griffin, as Chris Griffin would say.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's a really funny clip.
That made Mark laugh really hard.
I would watch that on YouTube all the time as a kid. Chris, where have you been? I don't
know.
Like it's Tucker. Look at all the bird shit. What the fuck? What
Oh,
the?
yeah, wait.
It's just covered in bird
Fucking
shit.
Dan Schneider exhibit.
Like little winches up there.
Why did they have the Dan Schneider episode? Of this
Well,
fucking
Sunny and Khalil right here. One
I
where
can't remember.
I remember seeing one that Nick would air a lot, because they would barely air Jimmy Neutron, but they would air this a lot, where it was like a little clip of Jimmy wanting a cookie from his mom who baked the cookies.
Yes.
And she bakes them, and he goes back in time and eats another one.
Yes.
And then his mom at the end is like, "Oh, Jimmy, you're so good. Have a cookie." And he's like full, so he's like, "Oh,
sick.
no more." Oh, so you see SpongeBob's arm break off there now?
No, I didn't.
Well, I think that's an idle animation. His arm broke off and lay on the ground. He looked down at it. That's thing. I've been watching Danny Phantom, and I think the start of the show is kind of like whatever. You know, it's very slow.
The start of the show is very slow because I have prior to Mark watching Danny Phantom now, I tried showing him Danny Phantom.
And I just kept getting bored.
He didn't like it. That was boring.
But you know what it is? As soon as they introduce Vlad, I'm like, okay, now there's something going. Like I'm
because
interested.
Vlad is a fucking great enemy.
And you know what's interesting? I think you brought it up where you're like, oh, Danny Phantom's like the only show where you don't care about the slice of life. You care about like the cool ghost stuff.
Yeah, you do.
And I think that's just because Danny Phantom just feels like a retread of Fairly Odd Parents and the school stuff to me, where it's like, oh, you have the jock, you have the bully, you know, you have the cool like hot girl that everyone wants to fight.
I disagree. I know what you mean, and I think the only reason why it's held to the same caliber is because it's Butch Hartman. But I feel like that trope in general is something that's always been common.
I want to get to the ghost stuff, or I really like slice of life, and I really like school stuff when it's not just like, oh, we have to do the big test today, and I have to study, you know, like. I don't give a shit. But also, I like that episode because it actually does something with it where the message is like, oh, Danny can use his ghost powers to do anything he wants, like to bully his bullies, but should he? Like, I like that that's the message.
Yeah.
Like, they're taking it and they're doing something with it. Like, it isn't just like the school setting.
It's not just like the trope itself and then like Danny having to go
But,
through the trope
okay,
itself.
you know what it is? Yeah, this is the perfect example that I really don't like, where it's like the Danny Phantom episode where it's like you have a really cool plot of, yeah, Danny and Valerie are having like a cool, like, oh, they're both being hunted down in Skulker's like fucking zoo. But Tucker at the same time has to take care of like a flower baby, and it's like, I don't care, you know, I just don't give a shit. But it's just it's so like basic, and it's like such a high school plot where it's like, oh, you put no thought into this. Where like yeah, I'm doing like a high school thing, but it's very much like in the vein of like the high school is there as like the setting. It's an excuse to get these characters in like conflict positions. It's not really for like, oh, we have to do an episode where the characters are running for school president. You know, like that's the stuff I want to really avoid. You know,
fucking shitty, stupid, retarded ass fucking ideas of having your characters be a fucking school council president. It's still pretty well done.
That's what I'm saying. Definitely, that's what I'm saying. As it goes on, I think they definitely start to improve. Like I like the episode where they have the counselor who like is actually a ghost, and she feeds off like making all the students feel like badly about themselves, you know, for like eternal youth.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Or I like Danny, like we were talking about the nerd episode where it's Danny learning that he can use his ghost powers to overpower his bullies, but should he do that because it just makes him as bad as them? Like I like using high school settings for kind of raising stuff about the characters and like the way they interact with the other characters in the world. You know, I don't like it in the sense of like, what generic high school idea can we do? I guess it's less about the tropes of the characters and more about the things they do with the characters, you know?
I guess it's less about the tropes and it's more about how the characters react to the tropes.
Yes, yeah, it's all, it should be, I think any good show should be about the characters, and it shouldn't be about like the tropes. You know what I think of? This is exactly what I mean. I think about like whether or not the writer or the person behind it is pulling from their experience, whether or not there's actual thought put into it. Yeah, where if this is my thought. If you're of the belief that like anything shouldn't have like, if you have a trope that's automatically bad, then it's like it's pretentious. You know, that's like such like, if we could only do stuff that hasn't been done before, then we're not gonna have anything. You know, no movie, no show could ever come on.
That's the thing, is like, time as old as tale, these tropes, the high school trope, the fucking like the lovers, the love triangle trope, all of these things. Time as old as tale, you know, tale as old as time. Sorry, exactly.
But you know what I think that does that trope well? The TED TV series where they have the bully trope, and in the second episode they completely dismantle it by having like a really funny episode. It's a really fun. We were like laughing our heads off watching.
Mark and I really enjoyed the TED series. Let me just tell you.
So why SpongeBob? Look where SpongeBob is up there. He's just chilling. Why is SpongeBob just chilling up there, looking at the wall? If you, I don't care if a show has tropes. I don't give a shit. You know, like.
I do care if a show has tropes, but if they're done well.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
like Grey's Anatomy.
It's all about the execution.
It's exactly like Grey's Anatomy, dude.
Yeah, where it all depends on like whether or not you were taking that trope and doing something with it. Well, not even with that character. Like you can have a generic character in your show as like a side character. They can be like substanceless and generic. But as long as the way they interact with the main character, that isn't like a substantive way that like kind of changes how they think. Like I always like shows like Fairly Odd Parents, where it's like a character with like, to me, like he has a little bit of depth. He's like a little smart ass, and he's like not just a dumb kid, which is like in the season 10, you know, where he can't even dress himself, literally.
He fails all the time. He's a dumb kid.
But he has like a little bit of depth, and the funny idea is you're putting this character into a world that is filled with like stereotypes and characters that are filled with like one note like personality traits, you know? It took me reading the Fairly Odd Parents pitch Bible to really be like, to really appreciate like, oh, that was the intent behind this. This was Butch's intent, not just like by mistake. Where the pitch Bible for Fairly Odd Parents was Timmy is in a world that he is too smart for, you know? He is like a smart aleck, like a wisecracking kid with like one-liners, and he's in a world filled with like
retarded adults.
Like idiot adults and like one-note stereotypes. Like he has this bully who's just a bully, or he has the popular girl who is just the popular girl. You know?
That looks like shit. Like I said,
yeah, but
Thanos mixed with like Gantu.
But then Timmy says, "Hey, you wiener!"
Happened.
Like little Timmy Turner hand.
Timmy looks like
the
shit.
Timmy
that
hand.
Looks like shit.
Look, Squidward.
Danny pointing at Squidward.
That's what I'm saying. It's fun, isn't it?
Mark, it took till the end of the game to get this.
This is the best part of the game. This is the best part because they're all teamy. This is the only part in the whole game where they're all on screen together, and Danny's like, Timmy, Sandy, Sam, do this.
It was really funny seeing Danny point at Squidward and Squidward get mad.
It's fun, yeah. It's fun because Squidward's like, "Who, me?" And he's like, "Yeah, you, Squidward." It's just fun thinking about these voice actors sitting in the booth having to like talk about each other's like character. And dude, I feel like these characters are, because they're still used in games like Nick All-Star Brawl, they're still relevant enough where you could make a new game where it's just these guys, and you
Mark is loving this so much.
Yeah, like, okay,
He's so
I feel like
excited.
whatever kid is going to buy a SpongeBob game into like 2024 is not going to care like the Danny Phantom's in it, you know? So
no,
why?
because Danny Phantom isn't a thing. It hasn't been a thing for 10 years.
He had a graphic novel recently.
Hey, you wiener.
See, look, Danny's holding SpongeBob in his arms. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, but Mark, it took till the end of the game to get this.
But okay, think about that. It took to the end of the game, but realistically, it took an hour and a half. You know, like it's not that
Mark,
long. It's not like a
Mark.
10-hour game.
Doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying.
It took to the end of the game to get the shit we want to see.
But that's what I'm saying. I wish there could be a game that was like nothing but this, where it's all the characters having fun together and interacting, like making little quips and one-liners. Like, why can't we have this? Like, would anyone really care? Like, because obviously the idea is like, oh, well, Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, they've been off the air for years. But like, who cares? Just make it. You know, I'll buy it. You know, I'll buy 20,000 copies if it means you make more.
I guess.
They're releasing a new Fairly Odd Parents show. You know,
Same.
I would rather Timmy
Not
than
the
fucking
same.
the new girl.
You're not. Yeah, if you want Fairly Odd Parents, you're not gonna fucking get Timmy.
Which I hear, like, why can't we just say Timmy's the best? It sucks because
Timmy's better than new black girl. Is what you're saying?
no, it's like you think about like, oh, Fairly Odd Parents. The iconic part that Nickelodeon capitalizes on is Cosmo and Wanda, you know. But it's like I like Timmy, you know. That's the point. I like Timmy because he's a little shithead, you know.
And you want to know? You wouldn't feel this fucking way if Fairly Odd Parents had done a better job of not making Timmy feel like he's the most important and special little boy in fucking fairy world. And Wanda.
But that's the thing, yeah, because by the end of the series, by like season 6, I'd argue, it became Cosmo and Wanda had like one personality trait, you know? Cosmo is dumb, Wanda
Cosmo's
is
a
an egg.
dunderhead and Wanda's an egg.
Yeah, which was never it early on. Cosmo was
No,
like,
but you know what? Butch really liked using tropes.
yeah, that's the, yeah. But in the original, like, early on, it was like, Wanda is fun. You know, she's wacky and she's crazy.
Wanda loves Cosmo, and Wanda makes her fucking love for Cosmo apparent. And yet, she can still criticize him for having dim ideas, but at the end of the day, she always fucking loved him, and always, like, preferred her method, but still accepted his method of, like, wish-making.
Yeah, because he was fun. He was the fun one, you know? That was the idea, but she was, like, still silly and, like, wacky and fun.
But he was the fun one, but that doesn't necessarily mean that made Wanda the nag.
But that's what they made it
That's
into.
what they eventually made it
Well,
into.
look, it's the Invader Zimhaus. Yeah, no, sorry, I was thinking about this. Yeah, they make Timmy such a focal point of the show where it's like Timmy's the chosen one. They have, like, the Drake Bell movie where it's like, we have the Timmy Turner rule where Timmy Turner can keep his fairies forever. Where it's like, I only have this, like, thing of, like, oh, I miss Timmy when they make all these Fairly Odd Parents reboots because the series put such an importance on Timmy being, like, with Cosmo and Wanda. Oh, my God, I'm falling. Whereas, like, early on, it was kind of like Channel Chasers. It was accepted, like, Timmy is just another godchild. Or you have, like, Hassel in the Castle.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Wall of Infamy, where it's like Timmy could be considered a bad, like, god kid.
Like, look at that. Whenever I stop there now, that's because the controller disconnected, you know? And whenever I'm like, oh, it's disconnecting, I'll put it back in. It disconnects for a second. Like, right there, it disconnects. What? What just happened there? No,
I guess the game crashed.
the game crashed because I replugged in the controller. Globs of Doom's gimmick is like, oh, when we get into the volcano... That's the Globs of Doom is shit, but shit story-wise and character-wise, but I like the idea that it's like, oh, they're all transported back to Volcano Island, and it's like, we're like inside, the hub world is inside the volcano, and it's like, oh, this little ray Jimmy Neutron develops gives every character a weapon that is like based off them, but they could only do it for like half the characters before they started like running out of like, oh, what weapon could we give this guy? So Plankton gets a hammer, you know? And it's like, oh, Danny has to use his fists, obviously, so Danny just gets his fists,
He
you
gets
know?
no plasma rays.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, Squidward, look, whoa, Angry Birds. It's kind of epic,
I also fucking hate
but you get to the final boss and it's just the fucking sand. It's the sand boss again.
I fucking really do hate the trope of, like, the bad guy being like, fools, you fools.
You idiots.
Like, why? If I was a bad guy, I'd be like, you fucking retards. Don't you fucking understand? You're done. You're dead. I'm killing you, idiot.
This game, if I were to say this game had one bad thing, which it's only really one, It's just that this final boss sucks because you just are hitting the fucking like yours doing this.
No music.
You know what I was thinking about? Because we were talking about earlier, like, oh, why don't Nickelodeon do stuff like this anymore? Where it's also like what, like the Jiminy Timmy Power Hour, where it's like that can't exist today. That wouldn't happen today. Where it's
If
like
it did, it would be like the Casa Grandes and Loud House.
yeah,
all
where it's like it's Liam. But remember when Nickelodeon? Because I released a video today at the time of recording this, where it's like, wasn't Nickelodeon just kind of cool in the like the early 2000s and like the late 90s?
But wouldn't you argue it was only cool because you were a kid?
It was cool because the shows were good.
And because the shows actually tried new and different things that would be engaging your audience.
The shows tried to be like bigger, you know, like you
Yeah.
had like the Fairly Odd Parents. Oh, okay, you had
Channel
Fairly Odd
Chasers was
Parents,
pretty big.
Channel Chasers, or Epic
Yeah.
Catastrophe, but compared to like season 10 Fairly Odd Parents, where it's just like, oh, it's the Fairly Odd Parents, it's
Where
a
it's
sitcom.
like, oh,
That's
it's
all
the
it
Trump, it's the Trump baby.
is. Yeah,
Oh,
where
it's the
like,
Trump baby, and that's like really big deal. It's a really big deal. Who cares?
but it's not like a big thing with a big villain, or it's not action packed. It's just like it is what it is. It's just the
Yeah.
Fairly Odd Parents. What Tucker helps
Get him,
us.
Tucker.
He's in Attack of the Toy Bots for literally one cutscene as a joke. He
Really?
died. Professor Calamitous like kills him in like one shot, and like it's like a joke.
That's pretty funny.
And he killed like Plankton too. Look, see, it's all
So,
done.
Mark, would you say that you're like Danny and I'm like Sam and Sonny's like Tucker?
You're not goth. Or you're not vegetarian. You like Taco Bell.
Uh-huh.
Someone please draw Danny, Sam, and Tucker like me, Veronica, and Sunny. Look at this.
Oh,
Whoa, the Mount Rushmore.
The Mount Rushmore.
Old Timmy Turner.
Wow,
But it
with
feeds
the
away. You gotta look
Squidward-
at it.
With the Squidward on the end. That sucks. Why didn't we get a better design of that? What the fuck?
Yeah. I'm
Who
gonna go
is
pee.
Paul Baker? This fucking Paul
Who is
Baker.
Tom Zuber.
Who is Paul Marsh?
Yeah, who is Nolan North in this game? He's Uncharted guy. What is this menu? Congratulations, you finished the game. Reload your saved game to replay levels. Complete your salvage collection. Earn all the medal. Please keep playing. Please clap.
Go to that Avatar Last Airbender. Who gives a fuck about Barnyard?
Everyone 10 and up. Water,
Oh, it's an Avatar
Oh,
video
it's a game.
Wait, what?
earth,
I didn't know this was a thing.
fire, air. Control.
I didn't know this was existed.
What?
What is this?
The future of the world is in your hands. Avatar.
Bro, what the for Game Boy Advance, DS, and GameCube, dude?
Why is it set 2006? This game came out in 2000. Look, well, this is for a video game too. Barnyard the game, where you can pee on people with your udders.
You have comic mischief and cartoon violence.
THQ.
THQ, it would be a THQ game.
That's all THQ.
Remember? Oh, you don't remember because you never watched Harry Potter.
Whoa. What the fuck? You can ride around on bikes? That's right, you play it as like your own unique car interacting with everyone.
That is pretty cool.
You can do the dance in front of the meal man.
That is pretty cool. This was around the time where video games were only considered cool if you could have things that were a bit more inclusive for the characters, for the people playing.
Yeah.
Customizable characters. I mean.
Yeah. I had this game as a kid for the PS2. This is Creature from the Krusty Krab. You played as SpongeBob. You played as SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton. I was showing you this last night. It's the one where SpongeBob was in like the rat Fink. This is one level literally. What is this?
The Nick Picks collection. All the Nick episodes
Nick
you
I remember
Picks.
this.
available now on DVD.
Look, all grown up.
All your favorite characters.
See, I had that in DVD.
Parents, Information
hated that
Super
video.
Highway.
Really, that episode, season 2?
Yeah, that's old. What the fuck?
And for the first time ever on DVD, it's the brand new release of these favorite 3. Danny Phantom.
How did you get back in your ectoskeleton?
My life as a teenage robot.
I never.
This is so nostalgic. This is like so like what a simpler time.
Yeah.
I would give this game a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6 even. It's just basic. It's fun. It's normal, you
What
know.
was fun about this?
There's SpongeBob. He frowns. There's Danny Phantom. Oh, he just put his arm on.
Oh.
His arm fell off again.